Okay, let's turn to Newberg now, where the election results are still a little too close to call, but the attempt to recall two members of the school board there appears to be failing by a slim margin, but it's failing nonetheless. Take a look at the results. You can see just how slim this is right now. The no votes at this point, the people who think that School Board Chair Dave Brown and Vice Chair Brian Shannon should not be recalled, they have about 52% of the votes for each candidate. The yes votes, people who think they should be recalled, have about 48% of the total votes. Now, to catch you up, the campaign to recall Brown and Shannon kind of hit the ground sprinting after both men voted to ban Pride and Black Lives Matter flags in Newberg schools. That ban then broadened out to include all political symbols. That happened back in September. They also voted to fire the district superintendent, seen there, after he refused to enforce the ban. And Brown and Shannon were accused of violating public meetings laws, an accusation they have since denied. Now, these decisions brought out a lot of strong feelings for people in Newberg and beyond, and we've talked to several people, including kids, who say racism and bigotry is a problem in Newberg schools. We've heard from parents who fear their kids aren't safe in Newberg, and we've heard from others who say, no, let's get all of that out of the classroom and just let kids focus on other things. Again, opinions are really strong, and probably because of that, a ton of people voted. The turnout for this special election, 56%. The Yamhill County elections clerk weighed in today on just how huge that is.
56% is a really healthy turnout so far, especially for an off January weird election. So it's really high turnout so far for us, but we really don't know what to expect. And our little county has not had a recall in over 12 years. So it's not something that our voters are used to. So there's so many variables. We're just not sure what to expect. When you look at school board elections, those happen in May of odd years. And our turnout for the 2021 school board elections was in the mid-20s. But it was even worse in 2019 when we didn't even reach 20% turnout. So at 56% turnout where we are right now, it is very healthy.
This was also, by the way, the first election in Oregon to test out the state's new postmarked voting law. And under that new law, you now have until Election Day to mail in your ballots for this election and moving forward. Those ballots will still count as long as they're postmarked by Election Day. The Yamhill County elections clerk told us then that now means they have to wait for a week to give time for ballots mailed as late as yesterday to come in.
I wish I would have some clue or some periscope into the mail stream, because we really have, with the wide date range of a full week, you can get a lot of mail from all over the country. And we sent our ballots out to our military and our overseas voters, our snowbirds down in Arizona, and folks going to school on the East Coast. So you really could see ballots coming from all over the country over the next 7 days back to us that we would have no clue are coming until they actually show up.
We will let you know when we have the final results in this Newberg recall race, both races actually. In the meantime, we want to point out we have reached out to Dave Brown and Brian Shannon for their reactions today. They haven't gotten back to us yet. We also asked the recall organizers for their thoughts. They haven't responded yet either, but here's what they posted on Twitter. They wrote, "We trust our democracy. We trust our career county elections officials. We trust that in the state of Oregon, the will of the voters will be fairly executed, whatever that may be."
It's been